Hey guys, Boris here, day 3 of the 30-day video challenge. I am super excited to be back here for another video. To be honest, I had a little bit of a rough day, a long weekend. It's been a little overwhelming back in the office, but I figured there's no really better way to change it around, and I'm feeling pretty good. My energy is really good, and I just want to share something that I learned and picked up during the time when I spent in San Francisco at a program called Y Combinator. And the realization that I had while at that program, and I guess a little bit after it, is a lesson that I take back with me and follow it. And I think it's something that especially new founders could find really interesting. And the realization that I'm talking about is the market doesn't care about anything, right? The market doesn't care about how much money you raise. The market doesn't care about what school you went to. The market doesn't care about your parents or anything. And let me tell you what I mean by that. When I first went into the program in San Francisco in 2012, I was surrounded by people from some of the world's best schools, from like the Harvard universities, from the Stanfords. And during the program, the perception that I had in my mind was that, hey, if these kids come from some of the best schools, they're gonna be successful. They're gonna build companies. They have a better shot at building a better company. And as we went through the program, a lot of those folks also raised a huge amount of money, right? We had founders that raised 1 million, we had founders that raised 2 million, we had founders that raised 5 to 6 million. And the first thing I remember that I was thinking, and the first thing that came to mind was that, hey, if they're raising all this money, that means they must be on the road to success, or that means they must be successful. And I know that with the way we look at funding announcements today, most people tend to associate if you raise X amount of capital, then these guys are gonna be successful. And here's what I realized. As the program finished, and it was a 3-month program where we got mentorship from some of the world's best entrepreneurs, and it was really, really awesome. And I'll put the link at the bottom, and I suggest everybody check it out if you have a business idea and you're thinking of getting it off the ground. But here's where it really struck me is once the program graduated, all those folks that raised a lot of money, and all those folks that came from some of the best schools, where I had this impression where they were gonna succeed just because of the school they came from or just because of the money they raised, a lot of them and a lot of those businesses never ended up succeeding. And what I realized was that the market doesn't really care what school you go to. The market doesn't really care how much money you raise. All the market cares about is, do you have the best solution to the problem, right? Is your solution providing the best value? Is your solution the most affordable? Is your solution the fastest? So at the end of the day, nobody can be entitled, right? Just because you raised a little bit of money, or just because you raised a lot of money, just because you went through some of the best education system, it still doesn't mean anything. And if you're thinking of getting into a space, and sometimes you hear of a company in that space perhaps raising a little bit of money or getting some press, it shouldn't deter you from getting into it. It shouldn't deter you from anything, because at the end of the day, if it's hard work, if you're gonna continue to talk to your customers and really understand what they want, nothing really matters. And it's something I think about all the time, and I still to this day sometimes will look at some funding announcements, or we'll meet certain founders, and right away the perception that we get in our minds is, oh damn, they went to an amazing school, they're gonna do some really cool stuff, or they've raised all this money, they must be doing some cool stuff. But a lot of the things that I've noticed is that, especially early founders, when they get access to a lot of capital, guess what? They end up spending it a little bit recklessly, and it's actually not as easy as most people think. So don't let how much money a company has raised, or don't let someone's background or educational background build this perception in your mind that they're gonna crush it and they're gonna succeed. The market really determines who's gonna win, and if you have the ability to speak to customers, to learn better, or if you have some sort of an unfair advantage, you have just as good of a shot. And obviously, money helps, specific networks help, but it's not everything. So this is a short little video that I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm shooting a little late, as you can tell by the the color of the sky and the time of day. But yeah, I'm having fun, and it's getting a little difficult, I gotta be honest, because I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is only day 3 and I still got a bunch of days to shoot. What am I gonna talk about? But I hope I'm able to bring you guys a little bit of value. And you know what, personally, I'm feeling great. I'm learning along the way. and I'm really pumped for tomorrow and hope you guys have a great week. So thank you so much for watching.